Hi, my name is Kristen Wyrick, and this is my physics lecture recap video. I attended several physics talks at Georgia Tech this semester, but the one that I thought was the coolest was by Melany Hunt from Caltech. She had a talk about understanding an hourglass and other granular flows in less than an hour. I think her talk was about 57 minutes, so she accomplished her goal there. Okay, so the first thing that I learned from Hunt is that in a granular hourglass, when one half of the grain is in the bottom of the bulb, one half of the time has gone by. That is, the amount of grain that falls through an hourglass is directly proportional to the amount of time that has passed. That may seem like common sense, but consider this. If there were water or some other liquid in that bulb, then this would not be true. It's a unique property of grains. Hunt talked about all of the things that an hourglass is dependent on, and in order to do this, she showed us several small hourglasses that kept different times. Interestingly, the hourglass that timed 3 minutes had less sand in it than the hourglass that timed 1 minute. For a second, this made my brain sort of freak out, like, oh no, you're wrecking the laws of physics, but, well, this was of course not the case. The orifice size in the hourglasses differed, with a smaller orifice for the 3-minute hourglass. You can actually determine the exit velocity in an hourglass using this equation. C and K are coefficients based on shape and friction, PB is the apparent density, and G is the acceleration due to gravity. The rest of the equation refers to orifice size. Another cool thing that Hunt told me about is this really huge hourglass that they have somewhere in Asia. I looked it up, and it seems to be on a beach in Korea. This is the hourglass. Interestingly, it runs all year and is only turned over on New Year's Eve. As you can imagine, with all that time going by, it's hard to be extremely precise. The problem actually has to do with variation in temperature. They tinker with the pressure of the hourglass throughout the year in order to compensate so that the hourglass lasts exactly a year. The last thing that I want to talk to you about is sand dunes and the sound that they make. Did you know that sand dunes made a sound? Well, I certainly didn't before I attended this talk, but it's actually kind of cool. If a sand dune is really tall, about 120 feet, I think, and has a slope of over 30 degrees, and it is really hot and dry, it won't work if the sand is wet, then sand rushing down the dune will create a loud sound called a boom. It's kind of like a really low vibrating sound, and I'm not going to try to imitate it for you, but if you YouTube sand dunes singing or sand dunes boom, then you'll be able to hear it. This happens in about 40 locations in the world because there is a certain frequency that makes this immense sound and lasting vibration, and it is highly dependent on the layers inside the dune and their ability to trap air and sound waves between the layers. Hunt referred to a bedded structure inside the dune that parallels the outside surface and causes that slow layer. Here's a picture of one of the giant sand dunes just to give you an idea of what they look like. Well, I think that's it. I hope you learned something or that you're inspired to go look up things about granular flow, hourglasses, sand dunes, something like that. Have a good day.